help me get to the capital? Help me find my daughter? I will give you refuge.
Well, we're gonna be one big happy family.
This is gonna be fun.
Shane, as a director, has always preached that character comes before everything else.
He really creates a world for all of us actors. He's made it mandatory that we all call each other by our character names.
Kellen and Shane had met years ago on another project.
We connected in that meeting, just soul to soul. He's a very deep, empathetic director.
Kellen's a hugely generous, big-hearted, warm, full of life kind of guy.
I'm on my knees for you, man. You are a perfect guy.
But he also doesn't suffer fools. So Kellen is quite deceptive in the fact that he's such a happy go-getter sort of guy, but when it comes to his characters, when it comes to his handling the material, he really is still quite immersed, and he'll show you something that's quite raw and very intimate.
He has been incredible. He has been so committed and so deeply entrenched in his ownership of Psy.
So not what you'd picture coming straight from Hollywood or LA.
You know, they're going to be standoffish, or they're just going to keep to themselves, or they think they're bigger than anyone else, and that's just not Kellen.
One of the reasons he has succeeded so well on this set is that he is so hungry and so passionate and so dedicated in everything that he does throughout his performance.
A lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaos in this film, and with that is joined with a lot of heart between the characters and the character relationships. That's actually one of the things that really drew me to this script.
You ever wonder how you end up where you do? You have all these plans, like so many plans, and yet here we are.
He's one of the most complex characters that I've played. To feel him and to take him on.
We're never getting out of here unless we do something about it.
And become him throughout the script, and to work on the backstory and just create a character that has layers.
So Psy is a very important character for someone who lost all hope. Psy represents quite a lot of people. You know, people who've lost hope that there might be something that gives them worth again.
I have to save my daughter. If I don't get there, she will die.
We had just come off of working with Dan on Infamy.
For me, Dan was someone who was so important to me on this journey, because on a personal level, he and I were able to talk about experiences on the past film and how they were relating to this one. And we were able to be very open with one another about, at the end of each day, where we were succeeding and where we were failing. And I think one of the big strengths when you're making a film with people you trust is to admit your failures. And I think it was very important for Dan and I to work closely on that to be the best we could be.
With the chapters, you get snapshots into people's lives, and you get snapshots purely into moments of a journey and an arc. The key for me with Kane and with this film was to go and fill in all those blanks and go and fill in the 20 years leading up to this point.
Coming into this with that strength of the relationship was paramount to why I think his character works. And also, outside of his character, I think a lot of the other relationships in the film benefited because he gave so much to them.
And don't worry about your lines or your words or whatever, as long as you know what's going on, and more importantly, who your character is and how your character would deal with this situation, then we're filming behaviour over acting.
Dan's commitment as an actor is something I love and respect, and love working with him, and I love pushing him as much as he pushes me.
And Daniel definitely has the charisma for his character, the strength and heart for his character, the turmoil that he can bring forth.
He's so tenacious, really fearless, and then just the commitment. Like, I can really understand and see why Shane adores him and loves working with him.
I like to talk through individual characters, I like to direct the scene through the actors, and Dan was an amazing conduit, you know, for that, to get a lot of truth in the scenes.
For me, that's what it's all about. I hate when, you know, this person comes with their lines and this person comes with, you just say your lines and you go home. That's not why I became an actor. And I think Dan discovered that on the last film he did, and realised that that's the way to play. And
he never rests, like, or if he is, he'll be like resting and chatting about it and talking about it warmly, or he'll be like off, like doing something to like storm himself up so that he's like spilling over for the scene.
And that was sort of something that that allowed me then to just bring Cain to life in a very true way.
Would Rachel Griffiths come and do a sci-fi movie?
Shane has been a huge fan of Rachel's for a long time. We wanted someone who was going to be very strong, but not play to the stereotype that often strong women have.
The General is a passionate believer in this great adventure of this time, which is the expansion of humans into the universe. And in that way, she has a kind of, I think, old school, Western spirit.
Rachel is known in Australia, obviously in the world, as a very dramatic, sort of intense kind of actor. To get her to play like the General, I knew she'd bring that gravity to it.
There's an intensity that Shane works with that's somehow weirdly kind of playful. Like everybody's varying character, but it's liberating. It's really liberating, and he allows these kind of strange things to happen.
She really embodied what the General was, and I think that was just great to be around.
It's been a revelation.
The thing about Tamura was, all these years later, I'd seen him on all the big sort of Hollywood sci-fis and things like that, and I wanted to know, was the guy who played Jake the Moose, was he still around?
You think I didn't have a hard life?
This Warden Modane just kept popping up. He seemed to stand out in a way.
You want to prove your place in here? Let's see what you got.
And so he is fusing the human prisoners with these animal genetics. So he's very much H.G. Wells' character of Dr. Moreau in a way.
It was a real journey with Tamura to watch him grow and sort of come back to that kind of raw state that I had sort of known him to be.
Shane allows you to really focus on those things and get into the part and take it seriously, and allows them the respect to sort of go inside yourself, to go to those dark places, I guess. And I also saw with Shane how he got to work the prison stuff, and just, because that was pretty intense stuff. In the moment, going literally berserk in some moments, but fearless. Just the energy, the intensity of it all.
Have faith that this place will become your own personal hell.
Luke's a beautiful, terrifying type of actor. There's something about him.
He just sets the bar at a higher level.
Knows how to get in there and sort of draw the best out of everyone around him to get the best of what he needs as well.
He's just so playful, like there's so much play, and he has so much passion and like love for what he does.
Let's go! My pin-up balls!
So Bill and Jip wound up being step-siblings and having a very unique relationship.
Almost there's an ancestralness about him too.
Ooh, Sparky, that's turning you on. Oh, sugar cane.
They slapped mud and dirt, shaved the side of her head, tatted her up and said, here you go, now you're ugly.
Isabel was someone that was so interesting to me because I had never seen her play this type of character.
Every tattoo has like a meaning, and it was incredible working with the makeup girls. They'd just be like, yep, okay, perfect, and we could create anything.
Goddamn dog.
Those two, Bill and Jip, I was really proud of their looks because it was completely separate and different from what they've ever been before.
Bill, who seems like he's from the Wild Wild West, gung-ho crazy, and he's a really kind of out there character that hasn't had restrictions for a long while, so his temperament's all over the shop.
So we can start that half-a-round deal. But it'll cost you.
She's really like inside, she's like a little gold mine, but she's also crazy and like volatile and just so unpredictable.
I wasn't sure how far out of her comfort zone she wanted to go. I like to run half-truths to kind of get to the point really fast with actors. She's someone that deals with a lot of love, kind of like a bright little shining light that comes in and infects you with warmth, and really worked hard to find Jip in all of that.
She was just all for it.
She's the most unpredictable character or person that I've ever played or met or inhabited.
Everybody on this set, Bill, Jip, Cy, Indy, myself, has been pushed to their absolute limits as a performer.
I like to know that the character is in good hands. The actor owns that character for the rest of their life.